If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button. Your support lets us share even more amazing, unmissable stories with you. I'm about to share a story about an unexpected connection I developed with someone who came to stay at my home for a short period. What started as casual interaction slowly evolved into something more meaningful, full of playful tension, surprises, and moments that left both of us questioning our boundaries. Hi, I'm Emily, 37 years old, married to David, who is 45. We live in Florianopolis, a beautiful city that feels like paradise. Our home is spacious and bright, perfect for hosting guests. David works as a long-haul truck driver, which means he's away for weeks at a time. While I appreciate his dedication and the financial stability it brings, his absences often leave the house quiet and a little lonely. One evening, my friend Sarah called me with a favor. Her brother, Alex, needed a place to stay in Florianopolis while he prepared for an important professional exam. I suggested to David that we host him, and to my surprise, he agreed immediately. When Alex arrived, I was immediately struck by how much he had changed. No longer the carefree, somewhat clumsy young man I'd met at a party a few years ago. He had grown into a confident, mature adult with an energy that seemed to fill the room. His presence was magnetic, and though I told myself it was merely curiosity, I couldn't help noticing his charm. During our first meal together, I found myself paying closer attention than usual to our conversation. He spoke passionately about his exam prep, his routine, and even small life goals. His seriousness and dedication were impressive, and while I kept my admiration professional, a part of me enjoyed the subtle tension in the air. With David away on one of his long trips, Alex and I had the house to ourselves. I began to notice small moments of connection. The way he listened intently, laughed genuinely at small jokes, and respected my opinions. I found myself looking forward to these interactions more than I expected. One afternoon, after lunch, I invited Alex to help me with some household chores, nothing extraordinary, just washing and drying dishes together. As we worked side by side, I realized how natural our conversations had become. We discussed everything from career ambitions to travel plans, and even hobbies we'd never shared with anyone else. A subtle, playful energy developed between us. I began teasing him about minor things, light-hearted jokes, friendly challenges, and small dares. Each time he responded with laughter, a slight blush, or a clever comeback. It was thrilling to see his reactions and to test the boundaries of our new, growing friendship. By the end of the week, our bond had deepened. There was a mutual understanding, a playful tension that felt exciting but entirely safe. I realized this was no longer just casual hosting. It had become a story of connection, discovery, and the unexpected ways relationships can evolve. Over the next few days, I found myself planning small moments intentionally, sharing favorite books, suggesting movie nights, or inviting him to explore the city with me. Each interaction strengthened our rapport, making our connection feel effortless and genuine. It became clear that sometimes meaningful relationships don't follow predictable paths. They emerge slowly, unexpectedly, in quiet moments filled with trust, laughter, and shared curiosity. And that's when I realized, some of life's most intriguing stories happen not because we chase them, but because we remain open to small, meaningful connections that change the way we see ourselves and others. As the days went by, hosting Alex became more than just having a guest around. It became a story of small, meaningful interactions that made our home feel alive in new ways. Every morning, I looked forward to seeing him start his day, whether he was brewing coffee in the kitchen, reading at the dining table, or quietly preparing for his exam. One morning, I decided to make breakfast for the two of us. I tried a new recipe I had seen online, pancakes with fresh fruit and a homemade syrup. As I carefully flipped the pancakes, Alex came into the kitchen, rubbing his eyes and yawning. "Wow, that smells amazing," he said, smiling genuinely. "You really didn't have to do this, Emily." I laughed, replying, "I know, but I figured it's better to start the day with something sweet. Plus, it gives us a reason to chat before your study marathon begins." The way he appreciated small gestures made me realize how different our dynamic had become. It wasn't just about being polite. It was about being present for one another. Later that afternoon, I suggested we take a walk along the beach nearby. Florianopolis has some of the most beautiful beaches, and the weather was perfect. We talked about everything: career dreams, favorite books, hobbies we'd never shared with anyone else. I noticed how relaxed he became in my presence, and I felt the same. During the walk, I playfully challenged him to skip stones across the water. He laughed as he tried multiple times, missing almost every throw, and I couldn't stop teasing him. "Maybe you need more practice," I said, pretending to be serious. "Or maybe I just need a better teacher," he replied, grinning. Moments like these created a bond that felt effortless yet meaningful. There was no pressure, no rush, just two people enjoying each other's company. Back home, I noticed a subtle change in our interactions. Alex had started leaving little notes around the house, sometimes a sticky note with a joke, sometimes a reminder about an upcoming study session. It was innocent but thoughtful, and I found myself smiling every time I found one. I decided to respond in kind. I left small notes for him too, sometimes with a recipe idea, sometimes a friendly tease about his morning coffee routine. These tiny gestures became a fun game between us, filled with humor and warmth. One evening, I suggested a movie night. We set up blankets in the living room, made popcorn, and picked a light-hearted comedy. The room was dark except for the flickering light of the screen. As we laughed together at the movie, I felt a sense of comfort and connection I hadn't expected. During a quiet moment, Alex turned to me and said, "I never realized how fun it could be to just hang out like this. It's relaxing." "Yeah," I replied softly. "Sometimes the simplest moments are the most memorable." It was a turning point in our friendship. The playful tension was still there, but it had matured into a genuine bond. One built on trust, respect, and shared laughter. Over the next few days, we continued our routine of study, meals, walks, and small playful competitions. I noticed how much Alex had grown not just physically, but in character. He had a quiet confidence, a kind heart, and a sense of humor that made every interaction enjoyable. One afternoon, I suggested we cook together. We picked a complex recipe, a homemade pasta dish. Cooking side by side, I found myself laughing at the little mistakes we made, like flour covering the counter or a sauce that was a little too salty. "Don't worry," I said. "Cooking is as much about fun as it is about the food." He smiled, adding, "I didn't know cooking could be this fun with someone else around." The kitchen became a place of connection and collaboration, and I realized that our playful banter had become something deeper, a mutual appreciation for each other's company. Later that week, I noticed a subtle change in the way Alex looked at me, not in a romantic way, but with curiosity and admiration. It was a look that said, "I trust you, I enjoy your company, I value your opinions." It was flattering and comforting, and it encouraged me to keep fostering this safe, meaningful connection. By the end of the week, hosting Alex had transformed from a simple favor for a friend into a story about how people can unexpectedly bring light into your life. It was about trust, shared laughter, and moments that leave a lasting impression.